hundreds and hundreds of tools that people can buy, and many of them are a waste of money. They're not right for the hospital, they're not right for the patients, or the hospital's not ready for them. I try to keep it simple, and I think of clinical decision support tools in two categories. The first is like Google. If a doctor or a nurse or a patient knows there's something they need to learn about, they can go search in those tools. Those are tools we call reference solutions. I seek an answer. But what if a doctor or a nurse or a patient doesn't know that they don't know? You can't search for something that you don't know you should search for. So the other group of tools push information. For example, a very powerful type of tool we call order sets. They tell a doctor or a nurse, consider this information when you care for this patient. So if there's a patient who has a disease, and as a surgeon I don't understand the right treatment, but I don't know that, the order set says, Dr. Edelstein, for this patient, you should consider this. Click here and learn more about it. The combination of the solutions that push information and the ones that I pull information, that combination is the most powerful for hospitals and patients. So in my country, medical errors that are avoidable, preventable, are the third leading cause of death. The third leading cause of death. And as we go around the world, and countries like Brazil are starting to be open and honest about their own problems, we find that preventable medical errors around the world, including Brazil, are responsible for tens of thousands of deaths and injuries every year. So first we have to go to places where people are willing to say we have a problem. And lots of times we think technology must be the answer. Technology helps, but the real answer is getting the best information to the doctors and nurses and patients. So we talk about three types of information that must be available to avoid mistakes. The information has to be current. It can't be from 200 years ago, and today with genetics, it can't be from 10 years ago. It must be credible. Studies show that Wikipedia and other sites like that have incorrect healthcare information, even dangerous. It has to be credible from a hospital or a health system or a government that really understands what is good and what is not good in information. And finally, we talk about information being evidence-based. So it's not just based on my own experience or my dreaming or my training, but hopefully there have been studies of patients so we know what is the evidence for treating them. Current, credible, evidence-based information, that is what empowers doctors and nurses and patients to avoid mistakes that can hurt or kill them. You know, the biggest way that we're going to change health and healthcare across the world is by changing how people, patients, think about health. This is an area that's very challenging because it's heavily psychological. So think about it. As adults, we are accountable for paying our bills. We are accountable for taking care of our children. We have to pay our rent. We have to go to work. But when it comes to our health, we don't get screening tests. We drink bad things, sugary drinks. We don't exercise, and we say, the doctor will take care of me. But we spend very little time in front of doctors or nurses, on average 12 hours a year. So if patients don't own their own health the way we own everything else in our life, we will never truly significantly change the health of the world. That means that patients have to have information too. But there is no way a patient in a different language, at a different educational level, is going to use information for an American surgeon. We have to translate not just language but culturally information and make it respectful, but at the educational and cultural level of the patient.